I mean, you can't deny that Biden does have a lot of interest there. He's been pretty embroiled in Ukrainian affairs and not necessarily politics, but a lot of business ventures.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's, kind of a bad look if he just ignores things.
Yeah.
So
do you think I tend to think this is more of a time slot issue. Essentially, Biden got a bloody nose in Afghanistan, and this is the next show that's on that night, and it's the Ukraine show, and so he wants to make a really strong showing. Is that playing into this a little bit?
I would think so. I mean, the Afghanistan withdrawal was just such, there is zero good, zero positive things that came out of it. And so it's like, well, okay, darn it, I've been ignoring my foreign policy for an entire year of my administration. I guess I should, I don't know, look at foreign policy. Ukraine.
Yeah, to me, that line of reasoning makes more sense than the business venture that has anything to do with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Yeah. People are talking about that.
The U.S. military.
Yeah, I don't buy a lot of that, but I do think what you're saying about Biden, it's almost like a good cop, bad cop thing. Like, he played good cop in Afghanistan, he didn't do anything, and now he's like, people think I'm too soft, so now I got to go really hard. So he just goes all the way to the other side, and he's like, I'm going to be super hard. And then that's not going to be good either. That might start a war, potentially. Yeah. I mean, we're hoping nothing like that happens, but actions like that do have consequences. So I think he's just swinging back and forth, trying to find a balance, and he hasn't been able to.
So that was one of the, I think, useful things about the way Trump governed, and I think about the way Reagan governed too. You can call them cowboys or mercurial or whatever adjective you'd like to use.
Yeah.
But by never letting the other side know quite where they were, quite what they were going to do, they were able to keep them off balance, which traditionally has been sort of the way U.S. grand strategy works. We try to keep everybody off balance. That's how the British have done it, and I guess we learned it from them. The two oceans help. But to your point, by being so feckless and rolling over in Afghanistan the way Biden did, he showed the world something that really we did not need to show the world, and now he's trying to make up for it, and that's when you make enormous mistakes, when you overcompensate.
Because he's behind the eight ball now, and he's trying to make up for his previous mistakes, and that's when he's going to start. It's like, I'll make a sports analogy, just because I know Josh loves these. It's like
sports ball.
It's like when you're in a football game and you're playing and the other team goes up 14-0 or something, then you start pushing really hard. You're like, oh, I really need to score. Or maybe even soccer is like a better analogy. You go down 2-0.
Soccer's never better than football in any way, shape, or form. And I'm not a sports guy.
Come on.
But clearly, soccer is not better than football. Sorry.
Any sport, really, it works, but you can see you're in a hole in a game. You start pushing. You're trying to make up ground, and then you forget, the consequences of doing that. You go full offensive push, you're trying to score, and then all of a sudden you're giving up a goal on the other end because you're not focusing on that anymore. You're now focusing on just scoring, and you make it worse.
You're playing to not lose instead of playing to win.